really difficult. I wouldn't like to be trying to find the winner of that race, but somebody who has got to is Paul Graham, who scooped the 6 last week along with quite a few other people. And good morning to you, Paul.
Morning.
But you're no stranger to this. You're a real sort of Scoop 6 fan and an almost professional punter.
I bet regularly online, yeah. Yeah. We don't have a lot of tracks around here. I live in between Musselburgh and Perth, so I mean it's almost all online betting that I do.
So how much did you win last week?
Just over 4,000.
So you feeling, I mean, for getting the 6 winners up, the man with you. Funny, if you're really sharp, you Northern boys, because somebody from Glasgow scooped $250,000 the week before.
Yeah.
But you've come close to winning before.
I've never actually won it before though.
And what makes you different to anybody else that you're punting? How come you make it pay? Well, the fact that it says that you do 4 hours homework a day probably puts you in front of most.
Yeah, I mean I look around on the internet there's so much competition that you can pick and choose your prices, and I try to get the early prices in the big handicap races mainly, and I just do singles.
And you were the first winner to actually do your line on the internet.
Yeah, through the Total Bet site.
Do all of your bets go through that system?
More or less, yeah. More or less. Occasionally I'll bet in the shop, but almost everything is on the internet.
And what are the big advantages?
Mainly the amount of competition and the value in the early prices. I mean, sometimes we'll see the price-wise horses, best price 10 to 1. You go on the internet, look around 10 to 12s, 14s. I think that's where I'm picking up a slight edge. And
your job now is actually designing sort of websites and doing different things.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to go over and get more into the racing side of it?
Yeah, at the moment I'm building a portal, a sort of community site for gamblers, activegambler.com.
To do what?
Well, it's really just an information service where people they can come on, they can chat about horse racing, chat about online gambling. I try to mark their card, if you like, with the horses, with betting in general, with online casinos, where to pick up the best bonuses, things like that.
But one thing that I can never get to grips with the internet, if you set up a site like that, where do you make your money from? It's all very well having all these people visiting your site.
Mainly, I mean, I generate quite a bit in advertising revenue. With the gambling sites, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying.
So
to
when people come to your site, what you've got bookmakers advertising, or who have you got? It's
more of a directory style site, so I've got search engine listings. It's like a sort of standard directory, so people can come on. The people can actually advertise with us through a third-party company, and then when any user comes onto the site, they maybe search for horse racing, for example, and in order to be listed, you have to pay, and the more you pay, the higher you're listing in the directory. So, I mean, that's how I generate revenue.
So, yeah, the more you pay for advertising, the higher you are on the top of the list.
Yeah.
But if I'm a sort of regular to your site, then obviously I stick it in the favourites thing and log on to you. Do I not bypass all the adverts?
Yeah, no, the adverts are actually tied right directly into the site. So, I mean, if you were looking for horse racing information, the websites that come up will be advertisers. And whenever anybody visits them, then I would earn a small referral fee on the sale, or just even get paid just on pure click-through, just for sending the visitor their way.
Well, if you're showing the form, you won't be making much out of Alistair and Simon and the rest of us. But what have you gone for today? Have you narrowed it down to any?
I was hoping you could tell me.
Well, there's just so many that are different. There's just so many. Chem's Truce, I thought, ran a good race the other day. The horse, Muta Marvrats, he looked quite useful when he won here, I thought, first time up. And then they upped him in class, ran behind Paolo Tim, and never got into the race. I don't think he ran his race. So there you are, that's confusing. And what was the other one I fancied? There was something else in there. Agitando of Roger Charlton's, I thought, was another one. Open to a bit of improvement. Anyway, we'll wish you well. You've got from now until 3:10 to sort a bet out, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Mac, any tips for him?
Well, the best betting races of the day turning out to be Haydock in the 2:30.